Barry Gibb finally reveals the truth about Maurice Gibb at the age of 79. Barry Allen Crompton Gibb was born on the Isle of Man on September 1, 1946. Barry Gibb, the oldest of the Gibb siblings, was raised in a close-knit household with his brothers Robin and Maurice, who would go on to play crucial roles as members of the Bee Gees, one of the best musical bands ever. Barry showed a wonderful gift for music at a very young age. He started writing songs and singing with his siblings as a boy, setting the groundwork for a career that would span more than 6 decades. He was inspired by the Everly siblings' harmonies and the early rock and roll sounds that swept over the post-war United Kingdom. After moving to Australia in the 1960s, Barry and his brothers started recording under the name The Bee Gees. Barry's skills as a lead vocalist and songwriter really came to the fore during this time. His unique tenor voice, which could produce rich, expressive lows and soaring falsetto highs, came to define the group's sound. The Bee Gees had some success with their early work in Australia, but their international breakthrough started when they returned to the UK in the late 1960s. Hits like Massachusetts, To Love Somebody and Words demonstrate Barry's skill as a songwriter. Songs that demonstrated his remarkable ability to express universal feelings via music, fusing melodic mastery with lyrical sensitivity. Barry Gibb's impact on music extended beyond his live performances. He served as the inspiration for a large portion of the Bee Gees' enormous catalog. The Bee Gees reached previously unheard of heights in the 1970s, especially with their groundbreaking contributions to the disco period. Barry's falsetto-driven vocals and songwriting contributed significantly to the era's soundtrack, which culminated in Saturday Night Fever's enormous success. During this time, the Bee Gees' music, which included immortal hits like Staying Alive, Night Fever and How Deep Is Your Love, became synonymous with the decade, influencing not only the music of the 1970s, but also the nightlife, dance and social liberation movement. Barry's capacity for vocal and melodic innovation made sure that the Bee Gees were more than just players in the disco explosion. It was defined by them. Barry Gibb's status in the music business was further cemented when his skill as a songwriter and producer was discovered by other musicians outside of the Bee Gees. Legends like Diana Ross, Dionne Warwick, Kenny Rogers, and Barbra Streisand were among those he wrote and produced for, creating successes that demonstrated his adaptability and knowledge of various musical styles. Few songwriters can match his skill of emotional resonance, as his works frequently blended sad poetry with captivating melody. Barry was admired by his contemporaries for his unwavering work ethic and commitment to his profession, and his influence has been felt by musicians of many generations. Sadly, Barry also suffered significant personal losses, such as the premature passing of his brothers Maurice and Robin. His perseverance and love of music remained unwavering in the face of these adversities. He kept up the Bee Gees' ongoing spirit while performing, recording and writing, frequently paying tribute to his brother's legacy. Barry's dedication to music as an art form and a very personal expression of love, remembrance and continuity was strengthened by his subsequent solo endeavors and reunions with surviving family members. Barry Gibb has had an incalculable influence on popular music. In addition to his remarkable vocal range, catchy tunes and clever composition, he is praised for his steadfast commitment to teamwork, family and artistic endeavors. He has been recognized for his achievements with a number of honors, such as Lifetime Achievement Awards, Grammy Awards, and admission into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, all of which attest to the significant impact he has had on the world of music. The renowned singer behind the well-known Bee Gees, Barry Gibb, continued to demonstrate his incredible range as a musician during the colorful and revolutionary 1990s. He demonstrated his mastery of the guitar during this time by lending his undeniable talent to Kelly Wolf's poignant song Born to Be Loved by You, leaving an enduring impression on the recording. Barry demonstrated his ability to skillfully combine talent and teamwork by providing the instrumental foundation for the well-known Scottish vocalist Lulu's rendition of Let Me Wake Up in Your Arms. Barry stayed true to the Bee Gees' heritage even as he pursued solo endeavors that gave him the chance to flourish on his own. He contributed to albums like Size Isn't Everything, which further cemented the Bee Gees' enduring influence on pop and dance music globally, and contributed his unmatched voice to the group's productions. Fans witnessed a significant turning point in 2001 when the Bee Gees issued Islands in the Stream, their final studio album, which captured decades of emotional depth, harmony and musical genius. The following year, Barry once again showed off his talent for teamwork when he collaborated with none other than Michael Jackson on the single All in Your Name, bringing together two of the greatest musical forces in history. As the decade went on, Barry kept leaving his artistic mark on a variety of projects, such as providing backup vocals for his son Steve Gibb's intensely personal ballad, Living in the Rain. During this time, he also published a number of outstanding solo songs, including Drown on the River, The Eerily Moving Grey Ghost, and the incredibly touching Daddy's Little Girl. Each song showcases his deep emotional depth and timeless originality. Barry's influence went well beyond the recording studio, as he shared his wealth of knowledge and astute ear with television viewers outside of his musical endeavors. He was a memorable judge on the 6th season of American Idol in 2007, offering advice and support to aspiring singers. Beginning with his first marriage to Maureen Bates, Barry Gibb's personal life has been characterized by both early difficulties and long-lasting relationships. At the age of 19, Barry was still in the early phases of his musical career with the Bee Gees, and the two were married on August 22, 1966. The marriage was a young and possibly impetuous choice made by Gibb while juggling the demands of an emerging music career with the expectations of early adulthood. At the middle of the 1960s, the pair resided together at Abbey House, a famous address close to London's Abbey Road studios, which put them at the center of the city's thriving music industry. But their union didn't last long. After barely a few years of marriage, the couple got divorced in July 1970. Even though the marriage was short-lived, Gibb found significance in this time, since it marked the beginning of the Bee Gees' rise and laid a complicated personal foundation that would influence his later life. Barry Gibb's life took a significant shift shortly after the dissolution of his first marriage, both personally and professionally. Gibb met Linda Gray, a former Miss Edinburgh, while filming the BBC's renowned music show Top of the Pops in London. The show played a pivotal role in fostering musical talent in the UK. Their encounter turned out to be crucial. A strong bond that will last a lifetime was formed by the experience. On the 1st of September, which also happened to be Barry's 24th birthday, Gibb and Gray were married, ushering in a new era of stability and family in his life. Decades of notoriety, professional achievements, and foreign relocation would all be part of this marriage. The marriage of Barry and Linda Gibbs has produced 5 children, one of whom, Stephen Gibb, decided to continue in his father's musical vocation. As their family expanded to include 7 grandkids, they left behind an intergenerational heritage that is closely linked to the entertainment and music industries. Despite the public pressures of celebrity life, the Gibbs have continuously upheld a close family relationship, frequently stressing the value of privacy and support. In 2009, Barry and Linda Gibb became U.S. citizens, while keeping their UK citizenship, marking a momentous occasion that demonstrated their enduring dedication to both the U.S. and the UK. This choice allowed the pair to blend their professional professions in the United States with their British ancestry, reflecting both their worldwide lifestyle and their strong ties to other cultural landscapes. Barry Gibb's personal life has shown a path from young experimentation to lasting love throughout it all, demonstrating his development not only as a musician but also as a loving husband, father, and grandfather. At the age of 79, Barry Gibb has finally shared details about his late brother Maurice Gibb, providing an incredibly intimate and direct glimpse into their shared existence, their complex connection, and the ongoing friendship that influenced both his own life and the Bee Gees' music. Throughout decades of interviews, Barry has consistently defended the Gibb family's heritage. However, after a lifetime of introspection, he now talks with an unvarnished honesty that his admirers that others might not really comprehend. Maurice was the Bee Gees' heart. Barry claimed that the high notes, dazzling moments, and harmonies are what people always remember. However, Maurice's silent power served as our shared pillar. It was he who gave the impression that the music was not simply from a pop group, but rather from a real living family. This acknowledgement is a reflection of Barry's appreciation for Maurice's frequently underappreciated efforts, which were essential to the group's unmatched sound despite occasionally being eclipsed by Barry and Robin's charismatic spotlight. Few other bands could match the depth that Maurice's ability to transition fluidly between bass, guitar, keyboards, and backing vocals afforded the Bee Gees. Furthermore, Barry's homage emphasizes how his brother's talent was inextricably linked to the group's international success. Barry also explored Maurice's private life, bringing to light facets of his character that his admirers seldom saw. When tensions were high, Maurice had this amazing sense of humor and a kind way to diffuse the situation. "There will always be friction in a band with 3 brothers," Barry clarified. "Arguments were made, disagreements were present. However, Maurice had a way of keeping us grounded and ensuring that despite the high stakes, we never lost sight of who we were or the things we were building together. Barry emphasizes the reality behind the glamour and the famous image of the disco period, while touching on the human side of life in the Bee Gees. Music was only one aspect of Maurice's calming influence. It had a major impact on Barry's personal approach to group leadership and was emotional and family. The homage not only acknowledges Maurice's musical prowess, but also the fraternal affection that was frequently left out of public discourse. We were brothers first and foremost, but I believe that occasionally the public views us as entertainers or performers. I will always remember that bond that Maurice reminded me of every day, Barry continued. Barry has just recently started to truly express the weight of sadness and the ongoing suffering of loss, which is also touched upon in the conversation. Barry continued to pay tribute to his brother Maurice through music and memories after his passing in 2003, but there was always a need that would never be satisfied. Barry acknowledged that losing Maurice was like losing a piece of himself. He was more than just my sibling. He served as my sounding board, colleague and best friend. No one could ever fill the void left by his passing in both our music and my life. After living with it in silence for so long, I feel ready to talk about it publicly for the first time. In this way, Barry's remarks offer a unique window into the emotional complexity of life, following the death of a person who serves as both a personal and professional pillar. His observations are moving, illuminating the way that identity, art, and family intertwine to shape the Bee Gees' path. Barry's candor also addresses the public's misunderstandings of Maurice and how history occasionally undervalues the quiet contributors to illustrious bands. Barry stated, "I believe that some people underestimate what Maurice brought to the music because he never sought the spotlight. He was crucial though, as anyone who truly listens to our music and comprehends the harmonies and layers will tell. I want people to know that Maurice deserves to be acknowledged for every note, chord and subtlety." This statement honors Maurice's memory with the deference it merits, while highlighting the creative talent behind the Bee Gees' music. It acts as both a personal validation and a historical correction. In the end, Barry Gibb's thoughts at 79 serve as a tribute to the timeless strength of love, family, and music. They give fans and historians a deeper comprehension of Maurice Gibb as a brother, friend, and essential creative force, in addition to being a member of a great band. Barry remarked, "I could talk about Maurice for eternity. Furthermore, it would never be sufficient. He was exceptional in every way, and I owe him a great deal of my identity. All I can hope for is that people would hear me and realize what an amazing man Dad was." Barry Gibb makes sure that Maurice's legacy is remembered for both the music and the humanity that went into it with these moving remarks. The Bee Gees were made feasible by the silent genius,